Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, you are from group 2. My name is Anggelina Putri and my friends are Angelia, Yulia Silpitri, Aurelia Putri Marlina, Amalia Gresiwari, and Arni Kristin. So in this video, we're gonna talk about how to read and get the most out of a journal article. We have 3 paces to make our reading experience more efficient and effective. Now we come to the first pass. The first pass is quick scanning the text for up to 5 to 10 minutes. The aim is to make us easier to validate others' claim and determine the paper. In the meantime, skimming the text will also add more knowledge that we ought to understand.
So the next class is about 5 simple steps of the first pass. The first one is read the title, abstract and introduction with care. The second one is ignore everything apart from the section and subsection headings. And the third one is go through all the available mathematical or statistical content to determine the underlying theoretical foundation of the paper. And the fourth one is go through the conclusion. And the last step is browse over the references and mentally tick the ones you've read already. Now try to answer 5 Cs when you are done by KSAP 2012. The first one is category. What type of paper is this? Is it an experimental study, a combined analysis of previous study, an introduction of new methodology? And the next one is context. Which other literature paper it is related to? What were the theoretical bases that were used to analyze the problem? And the third one is correctness. Are the assumptions valid? Next, there is a contribution. How does the paper contribute to the existing scientific understanding? And the last is about clarity. Is the paper well written and easy to understand?
The important things to do. First, examine presented figures, diagrams, and other illustrations by paying special attention to graphs. Second, do not forget to mark references you find relevant.
Now that we have gone through the first pass, let's have a look at the second one. Here, we dig into the paper more in depth but omit details such as proofs and summarize the paper into a few short key points along with some supporting evidence. Before we summarize or enter into the second stage, there are important things that we have to do. The first one is examine presented figures, diagrams, and other illustrations by paying special attention to graphs. Answer this question. Are the axes properly labeled? Are the results shown with error bars so that conclusions are statistically significant? This will help you to distinguish good work from those that are poorly done. And the second one is do not forget to mark references you find relevant, because it is important for the later readings and a great way to learn the backgrounds of the study paper. Okay, if we've done this now, we should be able to summarize the paper into a few short key points along with some supporting evidence. The depth of reading during the second pass is appropriate for someone who might or might not be familiar with the field of the paper in question, but is interested in a paper to some extent and finds it useful. This process can take up to 1 hour of work and requires a moderately high level of concentration.
The third and final pass is helpful for readers who need to fully apprehend the contents of the paper. The three-pass approach can also be considered as a really helpful method to use when doing literature research. Usually, we focus our search in the field of our specialization or interest, but not always. The facts are that in order to find the right papers for our projects, we need to dig through tons of research articles.
So I'm going to present about our last part in this presentation. It's about how do we go about using this approach in literature research. The first one is Search using an academic search engine, example People Scholar, by typing in specific keywords you have found from 3 to 5 recent papers on a topic. How do you find the keywords? Use the first pass here, get the gist of the paper, then go to the list of reference papers presenting the latest works in the field. And the second one is about if you have no access to such a paper, look for reading author names and search citations in the text, usually the main resources of papers in the area. Find their articles, set them aside, and go to the author's websites to see what they have published recently. And the last one is go to the conferences websites and browse through their latest proceedings, which will allow you to identify latest high quality work in the field. Do a first pass and identify the most relevant works from you now. Then, along with those papers which have been set aside previously, perform the first and the second pass now. So guys, I think that's all from our group. Thank you for your attention.